you.
You're scared. And you should be.
This is not your company anymore.
Leave the cheek of CM Punk.
Out. Combo move. This is what they've been doing. Hey, McAfee.
Everyone shut the up and sit down!
We got a mom in the front row who taught her daughter how to suck dick.
I'm Mina Shirakawa. I used to be a model. I want to put on a big show.
And that's the bottom line, because Stone Cold said so.
What is going on, everybody? Welcome once again to the Saturday Shenanigans, hosted by yours truly, the Renegade J.J. Williams. Hi, guys. Hi, guys. CM Punk drama bullshit to the side. I still consider Hangman the worst AEW champion they've had. First of all, we're going to bring in Walter Cruz.
I said that as a joke when, what's his name, did his promo Monday. He said, I'm from a prestige university. I said he majored in Steiner math.
We've got the Heb man, James Hebert, in the house.
I do really cool and dumb things on the internet.
Right. A lot of shit going on here. A lot of fucking crazy ass shit.
Where is Noah JD? Well, say his name and he appears, because we believe in Noah Foster.
Fuck is this intro? It is one of those things where as fans, we do have these desires for what we want to see, but sometimes you can't always get what you want, and there are reasons you truly don't get what you want. I wouldn't even listen to this in Grand Theft Auto San Andreas. What the fuck is this shit? God, rapid whack. Like I said, never been a greater time to be a wrestling fan, and with more companies in a more lucrative spot, in a more comfortable business spot, in a sense of mind, it seems, than ever. Again, WWE is not the only one. It is not the end-all, be-all. So let's go back to the Renegade Wrestling JJ Williams to get the official word. JJ, speak!
Make sure you tune in every week, because you never know who's going to drop in to join the shenanigans. Catboy is in the house.
Hello, my internet family. I say if you want to make them as evil as possible, make them really mad.
We have Mansfield joining the party now. What is going on, Josh?
Like I told no one when we were in Cleveland, him joining JC was just an unfortunate side effect of my shenanigans towards you, JJ. I know how it can get better, Noah. The panel chooses you.
Shut the fuck up, Josh.
He said that so like.
They got some of the intro back.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Just like how you and I had lunch together the other week.
That was different.
Ladies and gentlemen, the King is here. Say his name and he appears. We believe in King A-Train. There are so many believers in Joe Hendry. The only person on this panel that doesn't believe in Joe Hendry is King A-Train. Tell the world why you do not believe in Joe Hendry.
The reason I do not believe Joe Hendry is he is Fandango 2.0 in a entrance merchant. I rest my case, Your Honor.
Hey! There's nothing wrong with being an entrance merchant. He has some of the best entrances of all time.
Teleporting into the command center, all the way from Angel Grove High, Datilla.
Oh, yeah. I went to the command center on Thursday. I went to Vasquez Rocks, which is where they filmed a lot of episodes. Somebody actually climbed to the very top of those rocks. I made it halfway. I was like, I'm not going up there. Definitely Toni Storm versus Mariah May. That's the one match I probably am looking forward to the most. I really like the story. I'm familiar with all about Eve, so if it plays out that way, I kind of know how this is gonna go.
Say goodnight, Datilla.
Good night.
James, you did say his name, so he shall appear, ladies and gentlemen. first time on the Shenanigans. Jeff Meacham is in the motherfucking house.
Ah! All right, we're coming in hard with the botch. All right, fucking hell. It's good to be back. It's good to have an opportunity to talk to the crowd on a Saturday.
If you want to have yourself stomach through it, you can go back and watch when the Main Event Mafia took over Impact. That's what James is talking about.
So if everybody just joined us, we're talking about people sedating people, attempted murder, boys, and tips. Welcome to Saturday Shenanigans, everybody. Aren't you glad I'm back?
Welcome back, Jeff.
Cool.
What is going on, everybody, and welcome to the weekly insanity that is the Saturday Shenanigans. It is I, your host and moderator, the Renegade of Wrestling, JJ Williams, joined as always by the simple man Noah Foster, Mr. Reliable Walter Cruz. But that is not it. We do have another special guest. We've been promoting it heavily for the last few days. The current reigning and defending Podermania champion, Brittany Blake, is in the house to join us.
Hey guys, how are ya?
Doing well. How are you doing this evening?
Good. A little late on the East Coast, but I'm thriving.
You're telling me.
He's in Ohio. He used to be in Connecticut. Just recently moved out to California, where I am. So
okay.
So they're used to these late night hours. There's shows that we do that sometimes go to 2-3 in the morning East Coast times. So don't worry, we won't keep you that long.
Okay.
I promise. No.
No problem.
But, straight out the bat, you are the current Podermania champion.
I am. I had the belt hanging up and it fell down right as the podcast started. But
right on.
There it is. Big gold on the red.
Yep.
I love it. That's such a gorgeous championship.
I love the red strap.
First thing we've been asking all of our guests here is how did you discover professional wrestling?
Yeah. So I grew up very much in the Attitude Era, like late 90s-ish, late 90s-ish. Me and my brother watched it every Monday, and during the week, those weekdays changed as the years went on. But I grew up in the Attitude Era, big fan of Lita and the Hardy Boys, and I watched it basically until Lita was no longer there. I kind of fell out of love with wrestling for a little bit there, and then when AJ Lee came back on the scene, I fell back in love with wrestling, and I started training shortly after that in 2013. Actually, yesterday was my anniversary of when I started training for wrestling. It was my 13-year anniversary, so.
Right on.
Yeah.
So you mentioned being a huge fan of Lita. Was there a moment or a match that made you say, that's what I want to do when I get older?
Literally the second I first saw her was when she was managing S.A. Rios, and I saw her do that moonsault, and I was sold. Like, from that moment, I was sold. Because up until that point, it was a lot of just watching the guys, and me and my brother would put each other in, like, the submission holes and everything. But it wasn't until Lita that I was like, nope, I'm going to be a diva one day. Because that's what that was the only option at the time, was a diva. So.
And now you can wrestle like a woman.
And now I can wrestle like a woman. I have my diva moments, though, so it's fine.
That's fair.
Yeah.
I've been a fan of Lita since the Miss Congeniality days. I actually saw her during the ECW on TNN show before she came over to WWF.
Yeah.
So I've been following her since then with Danny Dorian and Roadkill. I was a huge fan of hers also. I was a huge Hardy guy. One of my alter egos back in the day was Sean Hardy. I was the illegitimate cousin of the Hardy Boys, so
That's so funny. Yeah, when I unfortunately, like, I grew up, like, we didn't have a lot of money growing up, so I couldn't. I see so many wrestlers now, and they have all these pictures with all these, like, wrestlers from the age of, like, 10. That was not an option for me. I didn't get to meet Lita until I was 21, and I literally signed up for wrestling school that same day. I was at a convention working at a booth. Met her, spent like whatever money I had meeting her, and then 2 booths down was a wrestling school booth, and I was like, this is an option? And they're like, yeah, we're 10 minutes down the road. So I signed up that same day. So, like, I feel like Lita's always kind of been at all, like, my major, like, wrestling milestones, from getting me into wrestling and then, like, kind of being there the day I signed up for it too. which was
It
cool.
was like a sign because you were there.
Yeah.
Like you said, just a couple booths down was a scold, was an omen.
Exactly. Exactly. And now my finisher's called the Bad Omen, so it all ties together.
Exactly. Your sit down Cloverleaf. Shout out to Furoshi
submission.
Tanahashi.
You know me, I love
submission.
submission.
You're very aerial and technical, as I've seen with your work in and out of MCW. Of course, you started out in CCW, trained out at CCW Dojo with the likes of Drew Gulak, one of the most technically proficient wrestlers on the planet. What was that experience like?
Man, that was overall just such a great experience. I went at the time, we could train 5 days a week, so I was there 5 days a week from 6 p.m. until usually like 10, 11, 12 o'clock some nights. And we did everything. It was a lot of, it was physically hard, it was mentally hard, but I mean, and I was with such a great class. Like the people that I trained with, we all wanted to get better. I think that's why we all ended up, doing so well, because we just really, really wanted it. But yeah, it wasn't easy. And there's a lot of like, looking back, I'm grateful for, but a lot of just like psychological, like, you're second guessing yourself, and you're put into these situations where it's like, man, like, is this? It feels like everything's like a trick. Like everything feels like it's a rib, But that's part of it. They want you to kind of like think on your feet and figure out things on your own outside of just the technical aspect of it. A lot of it was mental, which I appreciate looking back. But yeah, we had a variety of trainers. So Drew was one of them. But we had, one day of the week would be really technical wrestling. One would kind of be more focused on the basics. I had trainers that were really helpful with like showing me how to do high flying, even if they weren't doing the high flying themselves, just basing for everything. So we had a really good variety of trainers and people coming in and out of the school. A lot of really good seminars coming in. Just such a very good, well-rounded environment to be in. And now I'm actually one of the coaches at Catchpoint in Baltimore. So I went from one of being, so now I kind of work for Drew.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Were there any other notable names to come out of your class?
Yeah. So probably one of the most known is Penelope Ford. She came in a few months after me. But it was me, it was Connor Claxton, Frankie Picard was in there, Kurt Robinson, Yuta was also like closer to the Penelope Ford part of the class. Like they started a couple months after us, so there was some really good talent to come through the school at that time.
That is awesome right there. I love the fact that now you basically went from student to protege to assistant in Maryland Championship match of all places, not too far away from your literal origin. So that's gotta be a cool full circle moment for you.
Absolutely. Yeah. Everything always feels like it was meant to be, and everything worked out exactly as it was supposed to.
What made you decide to use a submission for your finisher, having been so heavily inspired by Lita and the Hardys?
Because at the time we were doing Dojo Wars every week, and Drew would give us homework every week. And one time it was, hey, you need a submission for your next match. Like, you have to have a submission. And at the time, I was working very closely with Christina Von Eerie. I don't know if you guys remember Christina Von Eerie. But me and her trained together a lot early on. And it wasn't her finish, it was just a move she did, was a Texas Cloverleaf. And I was like, hey, can I borrow this? I need a submission to do. So she showed me how to do it. And then we kind of like tweaked it and modified it to be more for me. And also I go into it a lot of the times with a head scissors, so we wanted to incorporate a little bit of high flying into the submission. So yeah, it was kind of I had to think on my feet, but it ended up working and it ended up being a really cool submission. So it eventually became my finisher. I think initially it was just a submission I would use, but it became my finisher at some point.
Yeah, you do like the La Mystica armbar takedown, and then you float over into the hammerlock and trap the legs. Brilliant sequence into that finish that has been the culmination of many of your match wins.
Yeah, and I mean that is the most common way I go into it, but I'm like, I have the list of 1,000 holds. I have like 1,000 different ways to get into it at this point. Like I can get into it from the ground, from up high, from the middle. Yeah, I can get into it. I can go into it from the other side. Like I have that move mastered at this point.
And if that don't work, you just double stomp the opponent in the back of the neck.
Exactly. And if all else fails, schoolboy, always
Yes.
works.
It wins a lot of matches.
It does.
Fundamentals.
More
are
than a blue
always
thunder bomb.
success.
It's true.
I'm sorry. I love giving him that about a blue thunder bomb because how often do you ever see it get a 3 count? It's a gorgeous move, but it almost never wins a match.
You know what's funny? I take those all the time and I kick out of them every single time.
Eventually, somebody's got to make that their finisher, and people.
I don't think I've ever lost to a blue thunder bomb before.
Oh my god! Well,
one of the things we do here on the channels is we do watch-alongs and stuff. This is our regular play-by-play guy, so that's why he's so technically, knowledgeable of the moves and stuff.
Efficient, also
efficient is what I was looking for.
I look also into the wrestlers that come to the story they tell based on their personality, and your background offers a ton of personality, way beyond what we learned in your little YouTube highlight reel and some of your cosplay work on X, by the way. So you're obviously a big Japanese anime fan. You go all the way back to the OGs, whether it's Pokemon or DBC, etc. So mad respect to that. So when did cosplay became such a focal point in your life?
So I grew up watching anime long before wrestling. I would wake up for elementary school watching Toonami and, Sailor Moon and Dragon Ball Z and all of those shows in the morning. So I was into anime way before. Hell yeah. I don't know if you can see all my shelves behind me, but I'm a huge collector. And this is only a fraction of what I have. Yeah, it's just a fraction. So I got into anime early on. It was never cool to watch anime. So I have a little bit of bitterness for now that it's cool, but I got into cosplay around, it was 2010 was my first convention. It was Anime Next up in North Jersey, and that was just the second I went to that convention, I was like, I need to do this forever. And for a while I was actually kind of not making a living. I was living at home, so it's I'm paying my own bills basically with cosplay at that point, and I was going to conventions a couple times a year. And every convention I would do 4 or 5 new cosplays. So as I've gotten older, I've kind of scaled back on that. But I mean, it really, I feel helped me. I feel like cosplay and wrestling kind of go hand in hand. And, I feel there's so many nerds in wrestling. So, I mean, I've made a lot of friends through that as well. But I still go to conventions. I just went to KatsuCon last week and I actually cosplayed as Lita. I saw the picture.
Yeah, I saw that. The original women's championship.
I go
from their Monday Night Raw. Yeah. But yeah.
You were saying, Walter?
I go to all Comic-Con, so I know. I actually met New Day dressed as Cuphead, and they kept bothering me the whole day. They loved me and my kids because we were all dressed up.
I've never cosplayed at a con, but I did really go all in one year for Halloween, and I made myself a Riddler outfit.
Hell yeah.
The suit and everything. I found a green suit at a thrift store, ironed on the question marks and everything, totally tricked out. The only thing that was actually bought was the question mark cane that I got at a Spirit Halloween store. Yeah. Everything else was customized. I found
I love that.
St. Patrick's Day hat at Dollar Tree, took a little band on it, ironed on a question mark on the top, so I had the little bowler hat.
Yeah, I love that. Those are. I feel those always hold a dear place in your heart when you have those cosplays. I consider myself cosplaying since 2010, but I did some characters for Halloween in high school. Yeah. And did you guys play Soul Calibur at all?
Yeah.
Are you fighting games? Yes. Okay. I'm a big fighting game girl. So there's a character called Tira from Soul Calibur 3.
Look, Walter's already. You're speaking his language. We have game questions for you too, but let's get through the cosplay first.
Yeah, but basically for that cosplay, I cut up a green tank top and I covered a hula hoop with aluminum foil, and that was my costume. And that cosplay is near and dear to my heart, even though it's probably the worst one, but I loved it.
Hey, that's what matters. It's always those initial things that hook you, that sit in the heart.
Yeah.
I've heard you.
The right side of my room is all Sailor Moon. The left side's all Batman. It's tough for me because
hell yeah.
In there.
I've heard you talk in past interviews about cosplaying as Rogue. Is that still your favorite one to do?
Yeah, Rogue will always be my favorite. Rogue and then Nana Osaki from Nana. Those are my two. Those are my girls. There's a whole. This shelf right here is all Rogue figures.
X-Men.
Yeah, I'm going to give you a solo shot real quick so people can actually see behind you a little bit better.
Look at that! That's
I have
amazing.
Rogue. I have Persona 5, Persona 3, Persona 4. I have Madoka Magica, Love Live, Danganronpa, Sailor Moon. The World Ends With You is over there. You can't really see it. Then
Any
I have a
fairy
Dragon
tale
Ball Z
stuff?
shelf. I have an entire shelf of just Power Rangers and Sentai.
I was going to say, where's Datilla?
There's a Yellow Ranger here, folks.
My favorite is Gambit. So for you to be Rogue, that's crazy. We're like,
oh, I've cosplayed Gambit. Like I'm obsessed. Like, and Yellow Ranger is my dream. Mighty Morphin Yellow and Dino Thunder Yellow are like my dream cosplays.
See, and one of our regulars is our own version of the Pink Ranger. So we got
awesome.
pink and yellow here. That's cool.
I have like 6 different versions of Gambit shirts.
Hell yeah.
Well, much like wrestling, the only thing that limits you when it comes to a personality and identity is the imagination. The only thing that limits you in cosplay really is how far you want to take it. And personally, with your red hair, you would make an incredible Ezra from Fairy Tale. If you haven't thought about that, by the way.
Oh, okay. I haven't gotten that one yet. Usually, I'm told to cosplay Jean Grey with the red hair. I usually get a lot of Jean Grey. I get a lot of Lara Croft requests.
I can see
My wife was Lara Croft last year.
Oh yeah, I mean Lara Croft is badass. It's just, I mean, I'm just never really into Tomb Raider, but I mean she's a badass character. I understand. I understand why.
Yeah, but she's powerful and she is curious.
Is there a cosplay that you haven't tried yet that you'd really like to try to do?
A full suit Sentai, like Yellow Ranger with the helmet and everything. That is the dream. That is just. It's not only is it expensive, but it's also like a long wait, so it's like a double whammy. It's like, man, it's a lot of money to front and then have to wait like months for, because everything's custom made and like sent over from Asia.
That makes sense. But I was saying you did wrestle a little bit in Asia and in Japan. What was that experience like? Especially being, let's be honest, Japan is the anime cathedral of the world.
Yeah. So I fell in love with Japanese wrestling very early on. Part of our homework was they were always giving us different tapes to watch, and then I remember watching a lot of Stardom and old school Joshi matches, and I was like, this is it. This is the dream now. This is what I want to do. And literally, I worked like my whole career to get to Japan. So there were a lot of times I got to wrestle for companies like Stardom and Marvelous here in the States, but not in Japan. And then I got to wrestle over there back in 2023, I want to say, for 666. They're so much fun to work with. I met them through doing Spark, and then I got to wrestle in Japan for 666, and then I went back in 2024 with Ice Ribbon, and I had a full tour with Ice Ribbon. I got to wrestle for 666 again, but so much talent. Like, everyone just works so hard. I loved getting to work with Ice Ribbon. Hopefully I'll be going back again this year. So fingers crossed that all works out. But everyone's just great. And obviously being in Japan, like, I was in my element. I love shopping. Like, I bought a lot of clothes, bought a lot of anime figures when I was in training. So
how were you able to get those all back home?
Oh, so there's a trick to this. So you go to Japan with a full suitcase inside of an empty suitcase. And and the full suitcase is really only half full, so you have an entire suitcase and a half to pack everything.
My son.
Oh, I have it down to a science. I've been to Japan so many times now. I have it down to a science.
I've heard this. My son, he's a huge anime Japanese person, so we're trying to save up to surprise him when he to go to Japan. And then I told my brother about it. He just wants to go because he's a chef and he wants to get certain knives from there, like chef knives.
Yeah.
Because they're like the knife capital. I'm like,
you gotta go to Kapabashi.
I'm trying to come back with you getting knives.
Yeah, I don't know what the rules are. If you have to ship them back, I don't know what the rule is. I didn't buy any cutlery when I was there. I just bought a lot of Pokemon and Sailor Moon merchandise.
Yeah, I'm sure they won't let that on the airplane these
Probably
days.
not.
You have to ship it to yourself. Yeah.
Probably.
At least you didn't waste all your yen on gachapons, which I'm sure would have literally busted your bank. But nonetheless, that's incredible.
So I did spend some money on gachas, but my kryptonite is the claw machines. They will bankrupt me. I will run out of yen real fast.
Like freaking playing Yakuza video game and just spending all the money in that.
We went to like the big mall in Roseville, and it was all claws, and each one of my kids made me win them like a Pikachu or a this or this, and I kept winning. So I was like, damn, they're making me spend so much money. Though. I was like, you know, you guys realize I could just buy all these plushies from Amazon, and I'll save a hell of a lot.
It's so
more
much
money.
cheaper. It's so much cheaper. There was this one Dratini figure or plushie that I wanted. I spent like probably like $20 trying to get it, and then I went to was one of the local like book offs, and they had that plushie for $5. I was like, why did I spend so much money trying to get it from the claw machine?
Same thing. In the same mall, I walked. You know, when we were leaving, the last store is an anime store. All those plushies are there for way less. I said, what the hell?
Oh my gosh!
Can't help myself. I gotta play.
We're all nerds and geeks at heart, and I look at your style. You look like somebody that would regularly shop at one of my favorite stores, not called Hot Topic, but Spencer's. I'm a fan of novelty likes, but obviously anime and cosplay has shaped a lot of your personality.
Yeah,
Which one
it would
speaks
come as
out or can I see the most?
well. Before I answer that, when you mentioned Hot Topic, it comes as no surprise to anyone that I was a manager at Hot Topic for years before I started wrestling. So
yeah, that doesn't surprise me.
Everything's for a reason.
But as far as
I should own stock in Hot Topic with how much my wife is in there.
People think I should own stock in Mountain Dew, but that's a whole different conversation. But as you were saying, the anime that most like relates or shapes you. I mean, I know how much Rogue holds near and dear.
no,
to you, so
100% Nana, 100% Nana. Like that is my one of my comfort shows. I consistently go back and I rewatch the show. Like the story is good, the fashion is good. Like it has every element that I could possibly imagine. It has like a badass punk chick. Like I'm literally wearing a Nana shirt as we speak. Like it is my favorite anime of all time. Love it. And then, but like that's my favorite anime. But like the video game that would speak the most to me is the Persona series. That is my favorite like video game series. Like Nana, Persona. Those like if I had to like have a little like pentagram of things to summon me, those would be two of the points. Like.
Well, there goes that question because we were going to ask you what your favorite game is, and you just
Persona. Yeah. For sure, the Persona series is my all-time favorite.
I got out of pocket since we're talking about anime and X-Men and everything. If they gave you a choice and you can have any mutant power, what are you picking?
I mean, I kind of see. I would pick Rogue's power if I had control over it. If I had control over taking anyone's power, I would do that. Otherwise, I kind of like Kitty Pryde's powers. Being able to like go through walls and everything.
Walls?
Yeah.
Transparency.
Yeah.
I couldn't do that because the bad boy would come out. I'd probably go inside banks and start stats.
See, I'm so guilty of doing like the Irish goodbye whenever I go somewhere. So if I could just kind of fade out of the room, that would be ideal for me.
Like that gif of Homer Simpson going into the bush.
It'd be you in a brick wall instead of the
Yes.
He gone. She fades out of existence. She's gone.
I'm out.
See, I always considered myself wanting Nightcrawler's power to just be able to teleport.
Yeah, that's cool too. Yeah, there's so many good ones.
Imagine phasing like somebody comes off the top rope and you just phase through the
Phase,
ring. So it'd
yes.
be like Samoa Joe's oops, but phasing through the rope.
You know, there's so many times. So I've been. I don't know if you guys. Is this one of your questions? So I'm so sorry if I'm ruining this. But also, I do cosplay wrestling, and there's so many times we get to like incorporate like our powers in it, and it's so stupid, but I love it. Like the amount of times I've done like a forced chokehold or choke slam as Raven from Teen Titans.
Oh yes. My God.
And I do the tag team with my husband. He does Beast Boy, and he'll do like all like animal themed moves, like a Boston Crab, a Frog Splash, a Bear Hug. And there was one time we were wrestling Team Rocket, and we're like, how can we incorporate Beast Boy with Pokemon? So we had him go under the ring. Team Rocket went underneath of him, and they came out, and we had a Bulbasaur plushie under the ring. So he came out as Bulbasaur, and they started wrestling this Bulbasaur.
That's awesome. I automatically flashed to that spot from the AAA show where the Spanish Fly was done by La Yesca. I'm imagining them freaking wrestling this Bulbasaur now. Like
that's exactly what it was. That is exactly what it was. I don't think we did a Spanish Fly, but it was very similar.
A
Never
puppet's not
apologize
a
for
wrestler,
bringing
it's an
you up.
assistant. I'm just going to put him on that map.
I literally watched somebody.
He's such a
wrestle
traditionalist. He doesn't like the shtick.
I watched somebody wrestle as Jesus and like choke slam somebody from 50 feet away.
I
so
love
I've
a good
seen that stuff.
I love a good superpower in a match. Like there was one time I did cosplay wrestling as Rogue, and I went to hit my opponent, and then I hit the ref, and the ref just died because I touched him as Rogue. So we had to get another ref.
Shout out to the ref for playing with that.
Right?
I mean, wrestling is improv, and that's about as improv as it gets. Speaking of cosplayers and wrestlers, heck, you shared the ring with Chris Statlander, who once thought she was the greatest alien or greatest thing out of space, and here she is, former AEW women's champion. So, again, cosplay and wrestling almost go hand in hand with
They do.
the personality and the story and the landscape that we speak.
Yeah, absolutely. They're like they literally go hand in hand all the time. When I can combine the two, that is my favorite thing to do.
Do you do that a lot in Maryland Championship Wrestling? Being a 3-time MCW women's champion, probably gotta be a little more serious there.
Yeah, I mean, probably MCW I'm a little more serious than I would be at cosplay wrestling, but you know, if I would,
personalities there.
yeah, for sure. I mean, at some point, it's like, and it's like even when I'm serious, it's like there are things on my gear that like let people know. They like there's a Sailor Moon crescent on my one set of gear. I have like the Nana logo on other sets. So even when I'm serious, the anime's still there.
Never lose who you are.
No.
There was a company that I used to. We were kind of like social media ambassadors for before that really became a thing. Called Battleground Pro Wrestling out here in Southern California, and every year they had a Halloween themed show called Pinky's Playhouse.
Love it.
Where they would put pink lights around the ring to kind of like shine this hue on it. And then everything was just more loose, more fun, you know, Halloween themed. Any chance of doing something like that through MCW, or have you ever done one of those style shows?
Yeah, I've definitely done Halloween themed shows. I mean, I don't know if MCW is trying to do a Halloween show. I have no idea. Usually, if I wrestle on a show in October and it's not Halloween themed, I do have black and orange gear specifically for October.
Right.
But I've done a couple Halloween themed shows. I did one where I think it was Katana from Mortal Kombat one year.
Okay.
But yeah, I usually try to if there's a Halloween themed show and they invite me, like I go all in. They just have to invite me. I'll show up. I'll show up with costumes for everyone.
My wife was Jade this past Halloween. Like
I love that.
She's bothering me from the side. She's ask her about Mercury, Mars, Jupiter. Which sailor is her favorite?
Oh,
I'm
which
like,
Sailor
okay.
Moon?
Mars. Mars.
Okay, she's a huge Sailor Moon person.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, Mars for sure. I was a big fan of Jupiter growing up, and then as I got older, I realized my personality was definitely Mars, and then I'm also an Aries, so like it all kind of.
oh my gosh, she's an Aries too.
Yes,
I'm an Aquarius, so I'm out of this conversation.
April
Plus,
15th
I'm with the
is
Cody
her
Oka guy.
birthday.
Mine's March 29th.
My
There you
son's
go.
is March 29th.
Oh, that's awesome!
You
It's a
know
good
that, you know
birthday.
that, folks. Hey,
Dude,
the
it's like
lucky
too
with
early
you
to
both.
say I love you already.
Well, careful, Walter. You've got a wife, and she already said she has a husband. Okay.
Not that kind of love.
She's married. Good grief. We got anime, we got Hot Topic, we got wrestling, we got everything you could want in a outgoing personality going on in this business.
You mentioned Soul Calibur. Let me tell you how crazy I am. I bought each one because I bought the GameCube version to have Link.
Yes.
I bought the Sony PlayStation version because they each, and that was the coolest thing they did with Soul Calibur 4, how they had exclusive characters for each system. So, I know you're younger than me. I know you're 91. Jesus, I'm 83, but Nintendo, Sony, like, what's your favorite? Well, you know.
Yeah, so I was definitely a big like Sony person. I have a PlayStation. I was a big fan of the Vita, but I play now. I mostly play the Switch too. So, but right, yeah. So if I had to pick between like the major systems, PlayStation for sure, but handheld, I'm Switch 2 now.
Okay, now I need to see your face
He's
for
talking about being 1983. I'm so old. I used to play Atari 2600. Okay.
I did too. My brother was 76, so.
Yeah, that's me. I'm 76.
I'm the oldest sibling. I'm the oldest sibling, but I have an older cousin who's 13 years older than me. So he was, I believe, 76 or so, and I got all of his stuff. So I got a Game Gear. I have like a lot of the older, like the original Nintendo and everything. So I got all the hand-me-downs from him.
I had the game. Oh look, my wife just jumped in the chat. She heard you start talking about it.
Hey, her name and she appears. Walter is in trouble. Also, King of Dreamcast is how I started off, and it's Team PlayStation.
Look at that. She
for
said,
life.
"What about the 64?"
The N64, hell yeah, N64. I used to love playing. Well, now I can play it on the Switch, but it was big on like Pokemon Snap, Pokemon Stadium, Donkey Kong 64.
I was Bad Fur Day all day. Bad Fur Day is the funniest game that was ever created. That and
that game was not meant for children.
James Bond. No, it wasn't meant for kids. I have it for Xbox. Created like an arcade thing that has like all the old school games. All I do is play freaking all I do is play the Bad Fur Day on it.
Well, 64 also has the best wrestling game, No Mercy. So
No Mercy. I did play No Mercy. My problem with a lot of the older games, there weren't a lot of playable female characters, so I didn't really start playing until like they had the Raw vs. SmackDown and the Day of Reckoning games, and you could start creating the characters. I would spend hours in character creation making my characters. It was ridiculous how much time I spent doing character creations.
Well, how often do you video game?
Now?
Yeah, how
daily.
often do you game?
Daily.
Good answer.
Well, like how many hours would you say a day that you spend on your system?
It depends. So right now I'm like shifting between Disney Dreamlight, Animal Crossing, and I'll play like the N64 games through it when I like need some downtime, when I have downtime. But so on the days I'm just checking in on like my islands and stuff, maybe 15 minutes. But yesterday I definitely put like 2 or 3 hours into my games. Right now my Disney Dreamlight game has like 500 or 600 hours logged into it. Animal Crossing has 500 hours in it. It's bad. And then Pocopia comes out next week, so I'll be playing that. Yeah.
You better have some sort of timer or some sort of like buzzer.
I know. Well, it's like my reward at the end of the night. So after like I get home from work, I make dinner, everything's done, I get the Switch out.
Did you see February 29th? They're re-releasing Pokemon.
For Fire Red and Leaf Green. Yes.
Fire Red and Leaf Green.
Yes, but there's also a direct on the 27th, so I'm hoping they announce the next gen game. Yeah.
Do you need more next gen? I gotta get your Twitch off here because I'm gonna start streaming when I got Ninja Gaiden 5. I'm gonna start streaming it live, no editing, like all the frustration. So I'm probably breaking a few controllers. So if that entertains you, I'm gonna. I literally my wife bought me an extra controller just now. Like she came over with it. She said, "Because you're inevitably gonna throw one of these things."
I am so glad I don't rage quit on video games. Power to the soloists that just run through a sandbox in a third-person open-world narrative. Goes to Yotai consumes my life right now. And then Sonic's my retro.
That was actually going to be another question. Do you live stream when you game? Do you do Twitch or something like that?
I did during the pandemic just to like kind of, keep active and like, be able to talk to people because I wasn't going to shows. But I haven't on Twitch in basically probably since I started going to shows again. But I was doing Twitch. I was playing Persona 4 and I was just doing like watch along videos of like my old matches and stuff like that for funsies. But it was fun. It was fun. It's a lot to like manage and keep track of, and I'm not the most like tech savvy person. I had to have people like help moderate it and set it up for me.
I work in IT for 15 straight years, still to this day. So if there's a computer question, I'll be happy to try and answer it for you. For free. But yeah, you definitely are a multi-talent individual. I mean, you wrestle,
I'm never bored.
You cosplay, you always seem to be proactive. You've also write a little bit, right? Do you still like journal a bit, or have you like followed like your own, like novels or anime stories? Like what inspires your writing?
Yeah, so I haven't really written much lately. So I went to college for radio, TV, film, and journalism. Journalism became a minor because I ended up hating it. I was like, oh, everything is fake in the world, so I'm not going to be a journalist. But I did a lot of creative writing. But I did write a couple short stories, and like I wrote a novel with the intention of making a whole trilogy. But like my writing has always kind of been for myself. Like I never wrote with the intention of like putting it out there. But it was a really good it was a good release and a distraction for me. I love reading. I also have like a library of books, so like I was always big on just escaping, whether that was video games, writing, wrestling. Like the real world sucks, so sometimes you just need to like escape from it,
Amen to that, sister. Right on. great.
You're literally the same as my wife. She says the same thing. She's addicted to reading and everything. She's just it's escape.
I think me and your wife would be best friends, honestly.
Like serious. Let me tell you, we interviewed another wrestler, and her name is Tiffany Nieves. They literally call each other cousins already. They
That's
made a plan to go
hilarious.
hang out and go to dinner and stuff. I'm like, how you gonna take over what I do with the interviewing the wrestlers and everything?
Right?
And to think, this guy's the one that spearheaded all of this. And of course, speaking of wrestling, you have been such a consistent presence, part of the Poder promotion outside of Poder Dos. How did that all start with you and Podermania and Ed in San Antonio?
Yeah, I want to say he found me through Shimmer. I want to say because a lot of the girls were Shimmer girls that were on the Poder show. So Ed hit me up one year. I think it was 2017, 2018, whatever the first year was. It was back when it was still during like Memorial Day weekend. It wasn't like a Mania weekend thing yet. And he hit me up and he's like, hey, I want to bring you and this person out. Like, what do you think? And I was like, hell yeah, that sounds like a lot of fun. It sounds like a great roster. And that's how it started. They just doing like the smaller shows when it wasn't Mania weekend, and now it's kind of blown up into like a Mania week show. And now we're starting. I think we're staring Mania week.
Yeah,
you are.
You guys are the kickoff. Walter and I are going to be there for it.
This is the craziest lineup of like people I've ever seen on the show. Like Ed has really outdone himself with this card.
Oh, 100%.
Honestly,
completely
100%. You know, Walter and I are going to be there. This is actually a reward for him because we're all kind of small time in the YouTube space. So his wife made a deal with him that if he got to 200 subscribers, she would send him to Vegas for Mania for like a week.
God.
So he got to the 200.
Yeah.
Him and I are going. We've got an Airbnb. We've got tickets to all the collective shows. We're going to be there front row for Podermania. You know, and once we knew that all this was going to happen, I reached out to Ed when I saw him start publicizing it, and was just like, dude, do you want to come onto the show and talk about it?
Mm-hmm.
And he was gracious. You know, January 10th, we had him on. He started announcing all the people that were going to be there. And then as, you know, he started announcing it on social media, I started following each of you girls so that I could try to get you on the show like we have right now. We had Rachel Leigh on February 7th.
The Princess of Perfection.
We've got Kaya McKenna coming up,
Love
Jocelyn
Kaya.
Navarro. We've got Alejandra Quintanilla and Izzy Moreno all coming up.
Got the full lineup coming.
Hey, we're trying to help get the name out there. We are huge advocates of women's wrestling.
Damn it.
And we don't feel that women's professional wrestling gets the respect it deserves in the space.
But at least there's more opportunity than ever, and I am so glad to see that, especially with you talking about Japanese strong style. Japanese strong style is the closest form of professional wrestling love to my heart, and Stardom is my favorite promotion. Now I want to see you wrestle Hazuki from Stardom and Burt Dixon from Texas because of the video game and just the wild identity nature.
I would
that would be
love
such a great triple threat.
I would love that match. Can someone book that match, please?
Book it, please.
That I love strong style, but I also like the high speed one, the high speed style. So like I would love to wrestle Azumi or Starlight Kid.
Yes.
I got to wrestle Azumi in a fatal 4-way, which I'm like, I got a little taste of it, but I need a full match.
You need to go after the speed. You need to go after the high speed championship now.
I know.
Stardom is his love language. I'm telling you.
Yeah. Japanese pro wrestling, period, but definitely Stardom.
Well, you know.
They're all great. They're all great out in Japan. Like all the companies have such great rosters. Like, you can't go wrong with whatever company you watch.
Ice, Promise, Sendai, even the newest one on the scene, Marigold, and that's just name a few. Tokyo Joshi, Pro Wrestling.
Mhm.
Again, you're right up my alley.
Yeah.
I'm the more I like transitional wrestling and grappling, and I'm an MMA guy, so. When you can mix it, like stuff like Bloodsport, like would you consider ever doing one of those?
So I actually have done one of those. I would do them again, but it's not my favorite. Like I feel like in a wrestling match I can hold my own, but you put me in there with like a trained MMA professional, it's not going to be good for me, especially when I'm not training extra beforehand. I'm just going into it with my like normal wrestling background.
Yeah,
So
I always felt that was very scary without the ropes. Like if people could just fall out, like people
yeah,
that don't, like always, it's a cool element to watch. But I know for the people inside, I'm like, holy shit, if
I
you're
love
not
watching
used to
it. I
this,
love watching
yeah,
Bloodsport though. Like I love
yeah,
watching it. I don't think I could ever. I feel like I would just die immediately. Like, I would step in and someone would kick my head off, and I would just die. It'd be like
And
Mortal
it basically
Kombat.
just
The head
puts
just
you in the Karafuda clutch and it's game over.
Yeah, let's not
yeah.
put her in there with Janai Kai, freaking kick demon.
right. The kick.
I wrestle. I love wrestling Janai. She's so good. She's so
amazing.
good. But she
She's
would
a
kick my
living
head
Mortal
off.
Kombat character, period.
She is legit. Yeah, she's legit a fighting game character. I love it.
Getting back to the wrestling stuff, do you have a favorite match, whether it's one of your own or just one, like a comfort match that you always come back to watch?
Or a comfort opponent?
Well, I'm trying to think if I have a favorite match. I feel like I do, and I'm suddenly going to forget every match I've ever done in my entire life.
Add up after 13 years and still going.
Right, because it's like they're, and I love certain ones for different reasons. Like some are just so much fun. Like I got to wrestle Makito, and that was just fun. Like I love watching that match for several reasons. One, it's entertaining, and two, my brother went to that show. He's a huge Joshi fan. You can hear him booing me because he wanted Maki to win. So like I crack up watching that one. But yeah, really a lot of like the old Dojo Wars matches like hold special places in my heart. I don't want to watch them because they're not good, but like they're special to me because I remember like what I had to go through before those matches. But as far as like a favorite match, see, there's some good Shimmer matches that have never seen like the light of day. Like I'm pretty sure like my match with like Hyan or my match with like Jody Threat, like they're I don't think they've ever seen the light of day. And those are some of my favorite matches. The one with
You've
Fallon
piqued
Henley.
Noah's interest.
It was.
You're speaking his
Oh,
names
really?
now.
Yeah.
Fallon
I feel like-
Henley, Hyan.
Yeah, Fallon Henley. Yeah, that was one. I think my very last Shimmer match was Fallon Henley. It was her. Was that same day? It was like her and Davion. All of those Shimmer matches are some of my all-time favorites, but I've never seen them. So I haven't been able to like watch them as like a comfort.
Your girl hasn't seen this type of match. Speaking of our Canadian friend, Ash, not only speaking about supporting women in wrestling, but also the fans that are women in wrestling. Shout out Ash has a question for you. Who was your toughest opponent to challenge, and what do you gain from that experience? Every match, of course, is a learning experience for you, but
Yeah.
what would you say has been one of your toughest adversaries to date?
My toughest match probably was the one I wrestled Drew Gulak in. That was probably my toughest match, and I learned a lot. Again, a lot of it was like a psychological, like, mind fuck kind of. I don't know if I can curse on here, but whatever. But yeah, that was a very difficult match for a lot of reasons. Going into it, you don't know nothing's called ahead of time. So you're just going into it and just hoping for the best. So that was tough for a lot of reasons. You also want to prove to yourself and to your trainer that you're good enough, and I think that was probably my hardest match. That
Clearly
and
you're good enough now.
yeah, and then I know it's probably my first time working a Joshi wrestler. At the time, I didn't speak any Japanese. At least now I speak a good amount, but trying to get through a match where no one speaks any of the other language was not easy.
Yeah, that Rama casual match in the 666 you referred to, hearing the Japanese commentator all over your match and the subtle Japanese just call out by the ref, that must have been different. Of course, you also are a little bit multilingual, Japanese at times. Of course, you've had to learn that being a bit of a world bender, so kudos to you on that.
Yeah, and thankfully by the time I wrestled Ram, I already speak an N5, it's a basic level of Japanese, and Ram also speaks some English. I think her English is actually very good. I don't think she gives herself enough credit, but Ram's awesome.
Arigato.
So what would be for 2026? What are some of the goals you set for yourself, and how close have you been to achieving them, or have you met every single one you've set already?
No, so going back to Japan is top of the list for me. Easily this is the top of the list. And really it's just at this point I just want to have good matches. I don't necessarily have to be wrestling 3 times in a week like I used to. I'd rather just, just have really good matches against dream opponents. At this point, like I said, I have been wrestling for 13 years now, so there's not a lot of things left on my bucket list, and especially like I'm gonna be 35 next month, so I know that there's certain things I can no longer like, strive for, and that is what it is. Like I've come to peace with that. But at this point, it's just about having fun and just having some good matches.
I'm 35, man. You just made me feel old. She's like, I'm 35. I'm like, yeah, okay.
35 really isn't old, but when you're falling on the ground at full speed for 13 years, my spine isn't 35 years old.
Yeah, no.
Tell me about it. When JJ and I used to actually, well, I did the backyard stuff. I never really.
I'm so mad I never got to do backyard stuff. Like I think I would have thrived in a backyard setting, but.
GCW still has some backyard shows. You could probably still do it.
Karate and things I did when I was younger. Like I don't think I've ever been so hard in practice. The body, the test, the crash test that they do. Man,
yes.
They give you a pattern ahead and you got to memorize. And they're like body. Man, the guy didn't listen. So when I went to go protect the face, he went to the body. That was like the hardest thing I've ever. Felt in my life. That kick, I was like, oh my god, dude. Oh. I was like, I'm not sparring with this guy ever again.
So we've got Podermania coming up.
Yes.
You're going to be defending the championship against Shotzi Blackheart.
Hell yeah.
Is this a match that you wanted? Is this something that you're looking forward to? Do you want the opportunity here to cut a little bit of a promo on Shotzi?
So, I did want this match. I asked for this match. This has been one of my dream matches. Me and Shotzi have been in the ring a couple times in scrambles and multi-man tag matches. We've never had a one-on-one singles match.
Oh, boy.
And, with my background in CZW and all that, I'm not afraid to get ballsy. I'm not afraid to, you throw some weapons in there. I just want to literally leave everything in the ring with her, whether or not I come out as champion. I just want to go in there and just give her my all, because there's not a lot of people that make me want to do that. There's not a lot of people that make me go, I want to do everything I can possibly pull out of my hat of tricks, or trick of hat, you know what I mean,
Yeah.
So at this point, I just want to go in there and have the best match we can possibly have, and probably do some dumb shit and
Let me call the craziest thing possible that can happen between you two. I will love it.
Yeah.
I'm sure that made it Scott will as well.
As of right now, you're undefeated in Podermania, so do you feel that that's in jeopardy at all here?
Considering
the caliber of opponents you've got.
Yeah, if there's anyone that would make me feel like I'm in jeopardy, it could be Shotzi. But I've had some really tough opponents. It's been what, Billy Starks, Christy Janes, Zoe Lucas, Ren,
Manny Wazowski, yep.
There's been a couple tag matches in there, but yeah, so I'm not afraid of anything. I'm not afraid to put my streak on the line, I'm a fighting champion, and I asked for the best that Ed had to offer. Shotzi is the best, although this is a crazy lineup. Really, any person on this card could have been a main event match. Even though this is the championship match, any of those matches can be could be main event matches. Everyone is just so talented on that card.
For all you know, you might literally get called out after you survive Shotzi. Your next challenger might literally come out that same night.
Please, I bring it. I just, like I said, I just want to fight the best right now. That's all I want to do. I want to, have really good matches with really good people. So if anyone wants to call me out after the show, by all means, go for it.
Do you have a preference of working face or heel?
Not really. I have a lot of fun working heel. But I do like working face too. I really have no preference. I like that I get to mix it up, and I don't have to be stuck in one or the other.
Follow the line. Be a vigilante. Right down the middle.
I'm definitely not right down the middle. I definitely am one or the other. Just it depends on where I'm at.
That's fair.
Yeah. Usually people hear that I'm from New Jersey. It's immediate booze.
That's fair. At least it's not the Vandal 48 where they chant "fuck Ohio" every time they come to the ring.
Hey,
I would also chant "fuck Ohio" if it's up to me, but.
I'm in Toledo, so you know that is Ohio, but we're right there by Michigan. But it is what it is with this tiny little town. But
It's a better part of Ohio if there was ever a better part of Ohio.
Thank you. I appreciate that. The born and raised Toledo. Respect Toledo. You freaking. Never mind.
You know,
By the way,
anything so AIW, anything past that line, fuck them.
Okay, I can agree with that.
There we
She's
go.
from the same town as the Virtuoso Operato. She's already in my good graces. For her.
We'll carve that piece of Ohio out and we'll say it's good.
Yeah, exactly.
So with all the women that are on the card, if it hadn't been Shotzi, is there another woman who you really would have liked to have defended the title against?
Man, I'm trying to think of all the people that are on the card because there's so many. Let me think. Who else is on the card? Because I'm trying to think of who else.
I don't remember them all off the top, but you have Shazza McKenzie, you've got Nixie Excess, Jasmine
I wrestled Shazza. That was another Poder match that we did. That was a lot of fun.
You've got Izzy, you've got Brittany Brooks.
Oh, you know, I would love to wrestle, but you know what though? Actually, if I do know, if it wasn't Shotzi, I would want it to be Toga because I love me some hardstyle wrestling.
Good choice.
Yeah, it would have to be her. But there's so much talent. There's Little Mars. There's who else is on the card? I mean, I've wrestled Leva and Sue before, but like I will wrestle them any day of the week. Love them. But yeah, literally anyone. Like if any one of those women want to challenge me directly after my match, I'll just wrestle again. It's fine. We'll have a gauntlet at this point. Just keep sending them out. You know.
Careful,
You heard it, Ed. You heard it.
You heard it, Ed.
It would be careful. Nani Takahashi had a gauntlet match till she had no more passion at the end of Merry-Go and her retirement. You might be setting yourself up for a very long night in Vegas.
You know what? If that's my retirement match, if my retirement match is going through the whole Poder locker room, I'll retire. I'll retire next month or not in April. That's fine. That's fine.
Ed's gonna want you to retire.
Yeah, no, we don't want the only match we see you in to be a retirement match.
Even if it's like a 12-person gauntlet match.
I mean,
Ed, book it.
Well, all night long. What the heck? I'll call it. Shoot, I'm the crazy man that calls it Japanese wrestling.
Yeah, we will be doing a watch-along of it.
The last time.
You know, it's like me and Walter will be there, but he's going to be on the air doing the watch-along of it, providing commentary for the whole show.
Oh, I can't
for
wait.
our channels. So you'll have to go back and see his commentary on it all.
Absolutely.
Thanks, JJ. No pressure.
Hey, we've told you before, man, you Joey Styles it sometimes and do a call solo. It's like you can be a real play-by-play announcer for a company. You've got the skill.
Again, this is just for the fun and the love of wrestling and the wrestlers. But yeah, speaking of which, talking about how there really is nobody that you're intimidated by or you welcome all comers. Thinking about not just those incredible female athletes at Podermania, what other female figures of the business, Japanese, domestically, big two companies, do you look at as maybe somebody that you will surpass maybe one day or kind of has been an influence on you per se?
Oh yeah, I mean, I'm not surpassing. These women are just out of this world. Like when it comes to like when you're talking about like the two major companies, like Rhea and EO, or those are two of my favorites. Like they're just so good. And then I mentioned earlier like Azumi and Starlight Kid. They're just so good. Like at this point, I'm not trying to surpass anyone. I'm just trying to have fun and give people good matches at this point. I'm not trying to surpass anyone at this point.
The love of wrestling. You're truly in it for the love of wrestling.
I am. I'm a lifelong fan, of course. I'm not at this point, I'm not even here to make money. You know, like I'm just here to have a good time.
There's a reason I do this for free.
The money would be as an added bonus.
The money's a bonus, but I'm definitely not like trying to get a contract at this point, you know. I'm just trying to have fun on the indies and hopefully.
But she's not going to wrestle for free.
No, oh no. Let's make that clear. We're not wrestling for free. I'm not
There's a
trying
huge
to wrestle.
difference of for the love of
huge
and
difference.
doing it for free.
No, I'm not dumb. No, I'm not dumb.
No.
I'm college educated. I'm not dumb.
No,
The
of course
funny thing
not.
is, now that you put that energy out there, that you're not looking, watch some contract come. You're gonna get reached out in the
You're gonna get
email
caught up by Lady
one of the
Luck,
big
the
ones.
WID.
One of the
Now,
big
let me make this clear though. Just because I'm not trying to get a contract doesn't mean I wouldn't say no to a contract.
Right?
No,
That's
always
usually when
be
it happens,
adorable.
when you're not looking for it.
But I'd also have to make more money than I make at my shoot jobs, and that's going to be a hard one to to come across.
What other occupations do you hold outside of wrestling? What's your other activities?
I work for a law firm.
Whoa, man, Scott got competition. Okay.
What kind of law?
Like surety and insurance. Like I'm not a lawyer. I'm not a lawyer. I'll make that clear.
Well,
but
no,
I work
no,
for
but
like, but I work.
There's different types of law, you know.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's like insurance and surety. Yeah.
Criminal, family, you know, that type of
No,
thing.
although I mean, I do kind of like dabble in the criminal stuff, but that's just because I work on the civil side of the criminal cases.
Okay.
So, but yeah,
That's fair.
yeah,
The criminal justice system.
it's terrible, terrible. I'll make a call. I'm like, hey, what's going on with this case? And they're like, I don't know, it's just pending. I'm like, it's been 3 years. It's pending.
Well, again, nothing really goes to trial, but not getting out of that bubble of nonsense.
Yeah.
So you like to, again, you're a cosplayer, you're a writer, you're a freelancer, you're a free spirit, honestly,
Yes.
for being perfectly honest here. Is there some sort of like pre-match warm-up tradition that you do, or some sort of like standard exercise? Like, how do you get ready for a match?
I usually just like treat myself with some like treat. Like I always get like a little sweet treat for myself before a match. I don't know.
There you go.
I feel like it's terrible. Like people should like, oh, I won't eat before a match. I'm like, oh, I have to eat before a match, or else I'm not gonna perform well. Like there was one time at a Shimmer show, I was like, it was like pulling teeth trying to like put this match together. I was like, you know what? Let me go across the street, get some tacos, and I'll come right back and we'll put this match together. And then that's all I needed. I needed some food, so I need to eat. I need to eat. That's basically all I do. Like pre-match. I mean, obviously like stretches because you need to do that.
I
But
would
yeah,
never trust that because I feel like I'll get gassy in the middle of the ring and poor opponent.
Thank God it's never happened. Thank God. Well, I'm not stuffing myself, but like I'm gonna eat something before a match. Otherwise, I'm gonna be cranky.
I was gonna say you got to be careful. This is Vegas, home of the buffets. You don't want to overeat.
There's a Mongolian like stir fry place that I go to every time I'm in Vegas. Like that's like my first stop for food.
Speaking of food, one of our friends, the Canadian King of Food, says, "What's your pre-match meal?"
I don't have a specific pre-match meal. I just have to find something. Like if I'm going to a venue that I'm not familiar with, first thing I do is I look up like what places are around there. So, but if it's just like a pizza place, cool. If I can find like a Sheetz or a Wawa, I'm fine with that. I just need to get something in my stomach, or I will.
Do you have a go-to like food or diet at all? Actually,
No, I eat everything. Yeah, I eat. Yeah, I'm genetically blessed. I up until now I can eat whatever I want and I'm fine. I mean, I don't know how long that's gonna last, but I'm gonna take into like. Yeah, but I mean, I love bread. I love pasta.
I stare at something and gain 10 pounds.
Like
I have a hollow leg because I'm nothing but
I'm Italian, so I love bread. I love pasta. I love my carbs. So.
Yeah, you have my own heart and the real Italian roots of my family. Oh my gosh, I love it.
This has been awesome. I know it's really late for you though, so we just want to start winding this down.
Yeah, and if for some reason if it goes black, I know my laptop is dying, but I have my phone on me, so I'll switch to my phone if it dies. But
too long. We don't want to make
I'm not gonna kitty pride Irish goodbye, you guys. I promise. If it logs me out, I'll come right back.
To the wall. Don't face to the wall on us.
Don't fade the black. Don't fade the black. Brittany Blake, it's been an absolute pleasure and have an incredible ballsy match against Shotzi Blackheart. And is there any last messages you want to send on behalf of Podermania yourself or to the professional wrestling fan base?
I mean, buy tickets to Podermania. I have a feeling they're gonna sell out. I think the front rows are already sold out. So go to Podermania. It's gonna be like the epitome of kicking off Mania weekend, you know. So buy tickets to Podermania. If you're not gonna be there, I'm pretty sure there's a way you can live stream it. You can buy whatever the pay-per-view is. But yeah.
I think it'll be on Triller Plus.
Yeah, something.
That's
yeah,
what GCW usually does most of their stuff through, and since it's part of the collective, I think all that stuff's going through Triller TV Plus.
I definitely think it's like a can't miss show, and I'm not just saying that because I'm the champion. Like I would want to go see the show if I wasn't wrestling on it, you know. So
yeah.
But yeah, just go buy the tickets, support women's wrestling, and
where can everyone find you on social media?
On Twitter, it is, or X, whatever you want to call it, it's Brittany Blake _, and Instagram is the Brittany Blake, and those are the main two that I use. So
we'll be sure to put those in the description, as well as a link to Podermania tickets and then Antonio's X for further updates regarding the card in the town and how to continue to follow up with the promotion as well.
Awesome. Thank you guys.
Thank you for joining us and giving us an hour of your time. We greatly
Oh yeah, I'll
appreciate
talk about nerdy shit all day.
I think
We'll definitely have you on again, you know.
Absolutely.
I am involved in some other shows. One of them is called Queen's Road. It's all about women's professional wrestling. So I'll, you know, give that information to the people that run that show. Maybe they'll reach out to you, talk to you.
Awesome. I'm down.
And two of our girlfriends in wrestling are going to soon start a pop culture podcast, and they are Defined Nerds and their own Rangers. I think you would make an incredible addition to that cast, whether or
That
not
would be
permanently or as a
awesome.
guest.
Yeah, that would be a lot of fun.
All right. Final opportunity. Anything you want to say to Shotzi ahead of your match?
Nope, just that I'm ready to get ballsy, Shotzi. So
I think there's enough said right there. Ladies and gentlemen, stay tuned. Podermania, the champion, Brittany Blake versus Shotzi Blackheart for the Podermania Championship.
Thank you again, Brittany, for your time.
Thanks, guys.
You are gonna turn into best friends.
We're gonna be best friends.
Right? And we will definitely see you when we get out there. So
Sounds good. Looking forward to
the
it.
only time that she'll be on this forum either.
Probably not. Thank you.
Have a good night, Brittany.
Wow.
All right.
That is one hell of a wild spirit, and I love her for that.
100%. So since we didn't run it during the show, obviously because of having a special guest, we're going to run our watch-along trailer real quick. We'll come back, say our goodbyes, and then we'll end this stream, hop over into the other stream so we can start the traditional shenanigans.
All right.
And now for a taste of things to come.
And truly here at the City Level Studios, as you see, we truly encompass, embrace, celebrate, engage, pontificate, analyze, criticize, react, and watch along to all the wrestling.
All right. Once again, want to give a great big shout out to Brittany Blake, the current reigning and defending Podermania champion, for giving us an hour of her time. Huge thank you to Ed Laredo at Ed in San Antonio, because like I mentioned, without having him on the show, none of these interviews would be possible. We are going to call this a stream at this point. like I said, we're going to go ahead and wrap this one up. Give us just a couple minutes to jump into the other one, start it up, run the intro, and we will be back with our normal shenanigans. And we do have quite a bit to discuss. We will see you guys in a couple of moments.
See you in a few, folks. Thank you again, Brittany. Support women in wrestling and Podermania, folks. Get your